Hello, I'm here today with Wes Schumacher of Actenum, and I'm just thrilled to be able to talk to you today, Wes, because you are going to have a booth and also be participating in the new technology showcase at your tech. So
Yep.
please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yes, so I've been with Actenum for over 5 years at this point, working as a technical sales engineer in both the adjacent solution side and the oil and gas side. Prior to that, for almost 10 years, I was with Devon Energy. And the last 5 years, I actually used this tool and was kind of the corporate super user for how it interacted with other systems of record and the processes that all surrounded it from the execution scheduling side. So coming up on 9, going on 10 years around this tool at this point. Um, so a lot of experience with it.
Oh, that's really amazing. So is your background engineering or?
Finance actually is
Oh,
more
okay.
is in it.
Wow. So you got to really work with the teams and the asset teams, right?
It did, yes. And
Wow.
we've uh we've been able to spread this out across organizations. And so I did it whenever I was at Devon, but then here on the Actinum side, that's the bread and butter. And so I get to easily talk. I don't feel like I ever have to sell the product, right? It's one of those things that you just get to talk about the benefits that I've seen and others have uh, been a part of as well. And so it's very easy, in my opinion, to just talk about the software. So happy to be here today.
Oh, that's really cool. So now I'm super curious. What exactly does DSO do?
Sure. So DSO is an AI-powered optimization engine for, operational modeling is what it is now more turned into. And so back whenever we first started, it was more just well delivery. It was how do drilling rigs interact with your completions crews and the other auxiliary activities that need to take place in order to bring a well from first spin to first production. And maybe some of the pre-spud milestones that go along with it. But now we're looking at things more holistically. And so that's part of the reason why we're part of a new technology showcase is because DSO is being leveraged in so many new ways that is outside of just traditional well delivery. That's kind of what we're here to talk about and how AI is sitting on top of all of this operational model now to be able to give you very robust scenarios and answers very quickly.
Well, that's really interesting. So thinking about the life of an unconventional well now, it used to be just, drill, complete, produce. And
Mhm.
now it's like drill, complete, produce, and then refrac. Do you get involved in any of that?
Yes, we do. And so that's part of what this tool is looking at is not only what is your, what we would call your wedge going to be. So what is your new production going to be, but how is that interacting with the base production that you have going on? What are the other activities that are taking place to look at your field and your asset holistically, not just from what are you doing to it to get more production out of it, but what are the things that can cause disruptions and downtime
Mhm.
across your field? And how do we bring those into the equation for your infrastructure, capacity planning, and be able to understand what is the best order of operations for everything collectively to get the most production out of your field from a scheduling perspective. And there's a lot of different avenues of which you can have disruptions. And so our tool enables us to be able to take what is usually kept in the head of multiple people across an asset team, maybe just a scheduler in some smaller instances. You can put all those logic rules into the tool, and then it's taking all those things into account for you as you're running through these different scenarios and bringing those needles in the haystack to the top very quickly.
Oh, cool. So just one final thought. What are, in your opinion, the most damaging but also common disruptors?
Well, I mean, it depends on the perspective of what we're looking at that there. So, sometimes it's disruptions can be you have a plan put in place, but it's not easy to tell SIMOPS interferences. So if you've got uh, adjacent wells that are already producing, or you have a neighbor that's going to be fracking next door, or you're going to be drilling another pad that's in the vicinity. So our tool helps us to be able to quantify all those things with the geo tags. And so we can adjust schedules to mitigate those types of disruptions so that you don't have a frac spread show up on location only to see a drilling rig sitting right next door. So we can mitigate those type of disruptions right off the bat. But the other aspect that I see as more of an internal disruption is the inefficient processes that can result from having disparate systems that are doing different plans and not being connected. And so
Mm.
that is something that can be at every single operator whenever you're working in separate software packages that don't talk to each other very well. And so since DSO can kind of be this hub that leverages a lot of information and puts the operational plan together, it allows for that everyone being on one version of the plan and being able to see everything very quickly and the implications of changes to all the impacted parties. And it really speeds up that cycle time and decision making.
So can people access it through their phones, the little dashboard, or is it an iPad or?
There's lots of different ways to be able to interact with what the final tool is. So DSO is the tool that you're using for your scheduling, but then our sister product, DSO CX, which stands for Collaboration Exchange, is the online platform where people go to be able to ingest the schedule or maybe even contribute certain edits into the schedule if need be. But then one of the other main ways that people are getting the information from the schedule and running robust analytics on the implications of different scenarios is through these OData feeds that are attached to the different scenarios and schedules within DSO. And they're in, your favorite BI tool of choice, whether that's Power BI or Spotfire. And they're able to run very in-depth and robust analytics and have great visualizations for different people in the organization, right? Because sometimes you're having to speak to the management level, and so you need it at a higher, more summary level, or if you're trying to manage pre-spud workflows in the order of what needs to get done by a certain team, it's very, very granular. And so DSO gives you the information to be able to have a rolled up or a very fine-tuned perspective.
Wow. Well, in my opinion, there's nothing better than that type of one-stop shopping because you get great communication.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Wes. I'll really look forward to seeing you in person next week and just want to thank you very much. And we'll put your information in the show notes. We'll put this up on YouTube.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.